The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
This is a story about another one of my Rosh Yeshivas, Rabbi Feinstein. I learned in his yeshiva for 7 years. And Baruch Hashem, he's still alive. He's the son of Rav Moshe Feinstein, the only remaining son. And this story I read in one of the religious magazines, and they showed a picture of it. On Chol HaMoed Sukkot, there was an event. There's an organization called Chasdei Lev. Chasdei Lev, what they do is they support the Rabbeim, the rabbis of the school rabbis. And they help them before the holidays. They give them food, like for much cheaper. They do a lot of things to help these rabbis. One of the things they do is they give them one of the big burdens on a large religious family is like a Chol HaMoed trip. Because every kid, every one of your kids, these families have 10 kids, they all want to go to Chol HaMoed trip, and the place costs $35 a pop. That's $350 before you even get in the door, before you buy a can of soda, and it's burdensome. So in this Chasdei Lev organization, they have a Chol HaMoed trip for the rabbis of schools, and they rented out this Keensburg Park, and they have food, and they have a sukkah, and it's like $5 a person for entry, just so you're not going in for free. And at this Keensburg Park, this Chol HaMoed, this past Sukkot, they had entertainers, they had rides and everything. They brought one of the greatest Rosh Yeshiva in America today, Rabbi Feinstein. So they put him on his legs he's not so well in terms of he's hard for him to walk. They put him on a golf cart, and they had a person drive him around the park. And everyone, he was the biggest highlight of the thing. Everyone's coming over to him, and everyone's talking to him, and they're taking pictures of him with their little flip phones, Rabbi's flip phone. And they're taking, and they're excited, and then one person sharing, Rabbi, this is my son, this is my child, Rosh Yeshiva, I haven't seen you, and they're getting brachot and all kinds of things. In the middle of the ride, the rabbi turns to the driver and says, "Please take me back to my car right now." So, okay, like it's in the middle, like everyone's still excited. He goes back to his car, and they drive him back to his house, which is in Staten Island. Later that afternoon, the man who was in the park couldn't drive him home because he was running the whole thing. So the man who was his driver, he drove him in the golf cart, but not in the car. He calls up the rabbi later on. He says, "Rosh Yeshiva, what happened? Like, we were so excited. Everything was fantastic. All of a sudden, abruptly, you said, I have to leave." He said, "What was it?" He says, "Here's what it was." He says, "You see, one of the people that came over to me was a former student of mine. And he told me that his wife has a disease and I should pray for her." He says, "I suddenly became so sad and so concerned. I couldn't greet the people the right way. So now if you keep driving me around the park, I'd be giving people half smiles and quarter smiles and not the proper greeting. And because of that, I'd rather go home and not greet the people the wrong way. So I could go home and pray for my student's wife." Now that is sensitivity.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org